Hey everybody, it's me, Liv. So for this month's Trust Jolie Mixed Media Kit, I am going to be using these gorgeous metallic paints, and I'm actually combining it with what I have left over from the October Mixed Media Kit. When I saw this particular house, it just wasn't coming to me really anything to do with it for the Halloween season, but when I actually saw it this month, I thought, gingerbread houses. So I make a gingerbread house every year with my girls. It's usually a whole big hot mess because it always falls apart and then we just pretty much eat it. But I did think that that would be a great way to reuse some of the pieces that I still have left from this Halloween album that was originally in the October mixed media one. I wanted to show you how you can sometimes think a little bit more outside the box and go ahead and create even with items from the other kits if you have them left over. So as you see here, I am actually just painting right onto the black. I did not prime it at all. And one thing I really love about the paints in this month's kit is that they are so bright and vibrant. And you can see how well they provide coverage. The also thing I found is if I keep providing layers, it really helps the color pop onto it. So I am going to go for a pretty traditional color scheme here, which is the reds and greens and a little bit of the like goldish colors here. I don't know about anyone else who may celebrate the Christmas season, but I actually have like the whole rainbow kind of lights on my house. So this is kind of what I was inspired by. This is actually my first time playing with these paints from this company, and one thing I found very interesting is how quickly they actually did dry. This was not a paint that had to dry for an extended period of time, especially heating it with that heat gun. It settled down really nice, and I just love the way it layers up on top. I found that my colors were just a little bit more bright, so I decided I was going to go dull it down just a little bit with the gold on top to give it more of a, I guess, like a rusted kind of age look to it. I was trying to get it be a little bit more vintagey. So off camera, I did actually heat it a little bit with the heat gun to make sure it was dry. And then I thought I would try to do like lights on the outside of the house. So I'm actually, because it comes in these really cool drop ones, it reminded me of my Nuvo drops. So I thought, I wonder how well this paint will come out if I purely try to do it as dots. And I have to say, it actually works really well. I was pleasantly surprised how well it comes out. And it will actually stay in that shape and form if you let it dry long enough to do so. One of the things I would say is don't squeeze too hard. There's going to be points here and there. You see that I did squeeze a little bit hard, and once I did that, unfortunately, the blobs, the little dots ended up becoming more blobs and squirting out too much. So it is something to be aware of. But I actually thought this was really cool that I'd be able to use this in more of a dot fashion than anything else. Now, I don't know if this happens to you, but it sometimes happens to me when I'm looking at my piece and I feel like one particular color didn't come out bright enough. So I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit more green into the project because I didn't think I had enough, and then go back with that purple and blue that I'm using. Then I figured I was going to go ahead and apply some of the other colors that I have, which is going to be the reds and greens, to give it more of a pop of color. Here's a mistake in the video, and I left it so that you can see how if you squeeze too hard, it blops out. So if you want to use it like dots like you saw me do, definitely be light-handed. But I figured, you know what, it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and make this work. Because I didn't want to bore you with doing all of my dots, which actually took a little bit of time off camera to kind of go ahead and get it complete. I'm going to finish up the rest of my colors, and then I decided I would take the glitter dust that came in the packet this month for the mixed media kit and put it on top to really get it to shine. So now that I have all that, I'm actually going to go ahead and put a nice layer down on it, leave it off to the side, and let it dry. Because I do want it to have a backing, I'm going to go ahead and color in, kind of like the idea I had here in my head was that it's going to be like those lights inside, and you can see inside. That's why I went with the gold color that comes with this particular kit. And as you can see, you can prime if you want, but you definitely do not have to, just because of the richness of these colors with this. That's actually something I'm pretty impressed by. So now that I have that all laid out and it's all colored up, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the heat gun so that it can dry off of it, and then glue the front side onto it. Before I do that, I want to make sure that we kind of keep the same effect that we had on the inside of having that glitter come through the windows. So I'm just going ahead and put that layer. I'm actually not using any type of glue because it's still pretty wet here. And because it's wet, the glitter holds up very well. So I just went ahead and did all the edges. Now, if you're wondering what glue I'm using art glitter glue. It will dry clear, which is one of the things I absolutely love about the art glitter glue. And anywhere I felt like I needed any additional dots, I'm just going to go ahead and fill those dots in. So what I decided to do is actually take out one of the chipboard pieces that are custom made over for the Trust Jolie site. So again, you can buy kits and you can buy chipboard from there. And I'm going to follow pretty much the same as that color scheme by just coloring straight onto the chipboard, all the same colors that I used in my gingerbread house. So I'm just go ahead and taking my paint, doing all the different colors. I'm directly putting the paint down, and like I said, what I found is don't need to prime anything because it will definitely stick and be super rich covering the chipboard. Once I have the colors all set, I will be going ahead and gluing this down over onto the house because I felt like it was just missing something that really pulled the whole holiday theme into this piece. And of course, as you saw, to kind of keep tying it together, use that glitter dust on top of it using my art glitter glue. And I'm going to go ahead and actually put it right here on top of this house. So my house is pretty much done, and I'm going to very carefully pick it up so I can show you guys a little bit closer to the camera. Can you see how that glitter works there? Kind of putting it like a frost on top of it, as well as how bright and shiny it all worked out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and think of creative ways to use your kits. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Bye.